describe what being in the shelter is like, because I remember when I was like 15, I had a job at an old folks home in the city that I grew up in. And at a certain point, we had to go help out at a battered women's shelter. And it was really just basically like a regular apartment complex with like kind of, it was actually more like a hotel style building where they would just have like single rooms for different women who were staying there. And I remember actually going into some of the rooms, and like some of the women would live in like the most disgusting situations I ever seen, like super fucking dirty ass rooms and stuff. But I mean, is that, from your experience, was that basically what it is? It's just like they'll give you a room for you and your kids to be able to spend some time in, and you have to end up spending a lot of time around the other people in the building?
It depends on shelters. I learned, because I went through a lot of shelters. Those were not my only shelters. Okay. It depends where you're at. Like I was in Skid Row, a Midnight Mission.
Right. Just super.
Yeah. You know, you walk out that shelter, people are shooting up. People, you know, it's all bad. I just stood there one day and I just decided to stay in my car. But I guess it depends on the area. Glendale was a whole apartment complex. They're like, I thought I was going to share rooms because there was other shelters where you share one room and there's like 5 girls in there. This shelter was like, this is your own apartment. And I was like, what? She like, this is you right here. Like, how many more people? Just you.
Yeah, if they give you 2 years, I mean, that's a lot of time to be able to kind of get your shit together and be able to have some money saved by the time you got to leave and everything, and be able to get it together, right?
Yes, but like I said, I guess it depends on the person, because there's people that just go to the shelter, they don't have nowhere to live, but they do have a job. They ain't addicts, they ain't going through shit. I came with a whole fucking package. And we had an on-site therapist, and we would do therapy with her. But that helped me at least let all that poison I had out, all the fucking bullshit I wanted to like just disclose. They wanted to kick me out because I told them I was an addict. They were like, no, this is a DV shelter. You don't belong here. I had to beg, please. Did
you kind of lie when you were doing the application?
Well, I lied about me being home. I mean, being in a DV at that moment. But they told me, what kind of DV are you going through? And I just remember my past. And I told them the story, and they were like, okay. You know, I have been through DV, but not at that moment. But I had to lie. I was like, it's either back to the streets or let's try to make it, man. There's other bitches that be in shelters that live with their families, and they just go in and sign in and leave, you know?
Definitely.
So anyways, it took me a while, like 8 months for me to get a job, eight months to let everything out, to feel like a little better about myself. And then I had a job. I got a job and started saving my money. Definitely. And they helped me get an apartment.
And what year was that?
In 2020.
Okay. So this is when you're already clean.
Yeah, I was already clean.
Because I saw something where you were talking about the challenge of getting clean when you were pregnant.
That was in 2012.
Okay, so what was that like though? Like you know, kind of in your head that you're not fully ready to get clean yet, but you were able to stop for a period of time because you were pregnant?
I knew I wanted to get clean, but it's not easy to fucking say I'm gonna stop. Like, you're used to it, your body wants it, it needs it. So I fucked up in 2012. I got high with my second pregnancy.
Okay.
I got high till I was like probably 5 months. It was not like an everyday thing. It was here and there, but I still fucked up. I got high, you know? And I remember back in the days, me and my girls would be like, man, we'll fuck this bitch up. We're going to check her if she's getting high while she's pregnant, you know? That's why they say never and never speak down on nobody, because bitch, you're going to go through it, or somebody in your family's going to go through it, you know? Don't judge.
How did that make you feel though,
felt low
doing meth while you're pregnant? And like, were you able to like identify it? Like, once you had your kid, are you like looking at the kid just like wondering every day, like, are you going to see evidence of the symptoms or whatever?
Yeah He's kind of like jumpy and all that, and I'll be like, damn, I wonder if it's because of that,
right?
You know, but he's right in the mind. He's just jumpy. He's ADHD.
Okay.
Know? But
because you see that conversation constantly now with like Blueface's kid with Krishan and shit, where like everybody wants to just kind of point it out, like as soon as the kid's like 6 months, and you can start to spot a little bit of a difference.
No, you can't spot it with my kid unless you see him like act up. Sometimes you'll be like, fool, chill, you know, but it's not like that. Thank God, you know. But yeah, I felt guilty for a long time. I felt fucked up. But
what was your version of smoking meth though? Like, even when you're trying to kind of get your life together, is it like you're just smoking meth and then you're just kind of roaming the streets, or you smoking meth and like able to sort of live like a normal life?
Yeah, I was living a normal life in the beginning.
It's just
I
like,
was still going to work.
that's your version of drinking a cup of coffee to get through the day?
Yeah. I would hit it like every morning. Okay, I'm good. All right, take the kid to the daycare, go to fucking work.
And you could do it and then just go through your whole day and not have to do it more throughout the day, or you
I
have
would
to keep
do
it
it
on
once
you?
I get out of work.
Okay.
Once
So
I get out
you
of
could go like the 8 hours.
the whole 8
okay.
hours on because I'll take a good blast. A good ass blast. Like, bitch, you gotta last these whole 8 hours, bitch, because you still gotta go be a mom.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, and then I'll get out of work and just get on one and I'll be stuck in the restroom. You know, I'll be a mother to my son, but I was still stuck in the restroom. And I didn't realize that afterwards till I started sobering up and I started talking about it in my groups and my rehab. And I was like, fuck.
Is it hard to be a decent mom when you're on meth?
Not really. Like you're just like on a good one, you know, well, I'm talking about me. I would be on a good one. I see my little boy looking at me like, what's wrong with my mom? He would look at me up like, this bitch acting weird, you know?
You feel like he could tell the difference?
Oh, yeah.
Even when he was tiny?
Even when I was in the restroom and sitting on the toilet, like, mommy, are you smoking? I'm like, I open the door, smoke will come out, go over there, go.
Damn.
You know, they see that. They can definitely tell when you're sober and when you're just acting different.
Yeah.
But yeah, and my little ones didn't really observe that because they were babies, but my oldest was the one that was kind of affected by it.
Right. Yeah. Like I tell my kid that cigarettes are bad and she's yet to like catch me with a joint or a cigarette or anything. And I'm just so dreading the day that becomes like a real thing for me. But even like, obviously it's not even close, but like with weed, it's like, I feel like I see how this is just not the optimal thing for me parenting wise. Like this just does not make me a great parent. So it's like, even though my whole life I was like smoking throughout the day, and now it's like, no, like you can smoke once the kid goes to bed. Yeah. But even that, you know, it's like, it's such a shitty feeling of like realizing you're kind of compromising being the best parent that you can be because of this shit that you've got as part of your lifestyle.
Yeah, hell yeah. So when I caught my son getting high, I was like, what the fuck? Why are you getting high? And what was the first shit?
At what age?
Like 13.
Damn. And smoking weed?
Weed.
Okay, you're not talking about meth. Okay,
no, weed.
Got it.
And he was like, well, what about you when you used to kick it in the hood and be smoking blunts with your homies? Motherfucker. And I'm like, yeah, but that's what I'm telling you. I lived a whole different life, and I always tell him I lived a whole different life. You got me. We're always gonna be here. I'm always gonna have your back.
Right.
But till this day, he still smokes weed, but not like he used to.
Okay, so you just saw the clip, but did you know that you can watch this entire interview right now before it's released to the public, uncensored, by becoming a member for just $5 a month, and there's a lot of other crazy benefits as well. So make sure you hit the link down in the description and sign up. Appreciate y'all.